You get to ask her questions tomorrow. What do you want to know?
Well, the failures are just absolutely outrageous and incredible. First you start asking the question, is this a failure of resources? Is this a failure of protocols or a failure of management? It appears that now we know that it's all three, that people on the ground at Trump's campaign who were involved with security had asked for additional resources. They had identified that there were gaps. Now, what's interesting is when we had our briefing and the Secret Service gave us their own timeline admits that 9 minutes before Donald Trump took the stage, that they were aware of a particular threat and still let Donald Trump take the stage. And then, as we also know from their own timeline, they didn't take a shot to take out the shooter until Donald Trump himself was shot. And what you see from this is that, obviously, thank God Donald Trump is alive. And as he's alive, we look at this as incompetence. But if he had been killed, they would be culpable. Every aspect of their failure leads right to giving an opportunity to shoot Donald Trump. And that is going to be the major issue. How did this happen? And of course, she needs to be fired. President Biden should fire her. She's clearly not going to resign. But her failures are incredibly well known throughout the organization. And even as we look at that day, they were very, very basic failures.
But she's at the very top. Are you saying this isn't just an operational problem on the ground?
Well, she's the leadership, and what we're hearing from the reports and requests for additional resources, that they went to the top of the organization. Clearly, she was the one responsible for ensuring the safety of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And what we see here, these failures are so extreme that that they need new leadership.
The Secret Service, which had initially denied that they had turned down requests, now says that there were some specific units or resources that were not provided, and then they relied on local police. Bigger picture, I mean, Pennsylvania's concealed carry state. This firearm was legally purchased by the shooter. We have mass shootings in this country, unfortunately, all the time. Large gatherings are prime targets. It's hard to stop a lone actor. Is the plain fact here is that this could easily happen again, no matter who the Secret Service director is?
Not in this way. This was so obvious. A superior position. Their footprint was insufficient. Their communication structure was insufficient. There was no way for anybody to communicate forward what was occurring. And on that day, everything that occurred resulted in President Donald Trump not being protected from this site, and resulted in almost him losing his life.